folks? We're here with another Weebaholic podcast. Let's get it. Let's go. Today, I have two very special guests. Introduce yourself.
Yo, we're the OG fanboys. I'm Rick.
I'm Cal.
Yeah, let's go. Thanks for having us, bro.
Thanks for being thanks for coming on. I was on their podcast probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago now. About 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I don't know when you're putting this episode up, but yours will be on in like 2 weeks from this Friday.
Okay. Yeah, I think I might have y'all's out in about 2 weeks because I got some other pre-recorded stuff on the way.
That works out.
Before we get into the episode, y'all go follow us on Instagram @Anime_Again Show. Y'all go like, comment, subscribe, and we're on Spotify now and Anchor. So y'all been pressing me the hell out about having other platforms. Is there? Go listen. I'm uploading all 60 episodes on Spotify as we speak, so you guys can go back and listen to all that stuff. Go follow my co-host at eyes.v.lens. He can't make it today, but y'all go follow him. He's a photography page. Let's get into the episode. So guys,
let's get it.
You are OG fanboy. So I know your gateway. I think everybody who listens to you know your gateway. What was your gateway anime? Talk to me.
Gateway anime. I was watching a lot of stuff. I didn't know it's anime per se. I guess Dragon Ball Z is the first one though.
Right. I thought it was Dragon Ball Z, but I think it actually might be Pokemon if we count them.
Because we're old.
So right. So back when we used to wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning to watch Pokemon. Back when kids had to wait to watch TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
you gotta have all them streaming outlets. Yeah. I was talking to my mom about that. A lot Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, all the good you had to wake up early for that.
Yeah.
That and you're lucky if when here did a really nice VHS that was recorded every platform too.
Right. Otherwise,
VHS. My grandma used to have a whole tape of those are stink. Actually.
Yeah, you got those colorful ass Nickelodeon tapes and stuff.
The orange joint. Oh my gosh, bro. The Rugrats movie. Oh my god, damn.
We're that old, but I will say I know getting really into anime for me was low-key Yu-Gi-Oh! I think. But I didn't know Yu-Gi-Oh! Was an anime.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if I'm thinking about the anime gateway, right? So we all watched and not just us, pretty much our whole generation of kids watched Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And even Dragon Ball Z.
Beyblade and stuff.
Right. But I think when we got into anime as distinctly recognizing it as anime was probably going to be when we got a little bit older and we were watching on Toonami and we started watching the One Pieces and the Yu Yu Hakusho's and the Rurouni Kenshins. I think so that probably came around maybe 7-8 years old. The other ones, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, Yu-Gi-Oh! Those all been around for a while, right? So you out the womb, if you were a boy in that age, you were watching at least one of those, and they were all animes. Yeah, you just didn't even know it.
And as a boy, you're also watching Sailor Moon, just because it's all in the same lineup. There's enough violence in Sailor Moon, to be honest.
Right, but you just got a front about it. It's I'm just watching it because we just waiting for you.
But you secretly on the low.
Yo, dude.
You see what you really want for, but then they when you become discovering you like girls and stuff, you see the girls in Sailor Moon, they're all pretty, so it's cool.
Right.
We all have our favorite Sailor Scout. At least between me and Calvin. Who's your favorite, Calvin?
The red one.
Mars, yeah.
I like the blue. Wait, is the blue? Is there a blue haired one?
There's a blue haired one.
Yeah. I like Sailor Moon. It's cool. It's a I watch it when I want to get in a good mood. It's a good one.
It is.
So I can't rewatch it though.
Yes, it's not
some animes you can't rewatch. It ruined because remember when I watched it, it was fire. So watching it as it actually is, some animes from your childhood, you kind of just want to leave it as what it was.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
You good? Bro, I have a whole little brother. I know how it is, bro. You good? So basically, y'all telling me okay, so it was kind of a combination of Yu-Gi-Oh! I heard some Yu-Gi-Oh!, some Pokemon.
Right.
I heard some DBZ, of course.
Right. So those were the gateways, as in that. But then when you in terms of considered active anime watching, that's when we got into the Narutos and the Bleach and the Bleaches and I remember the first time I actually went online to watch a dub was probably for like the first time I went online to watch an anime was probably for Rurouni Kenshin because they never finished it on Toonami.
Yeah.
So I had to go online to finish it.
When I went online to watch for the first time, like when YouTube was like really chill about having anime, it was Naruto.
Oh yeah, Naruto. Also, when I found like when they were like, hey, you know,
Like,
there's
it's
more
already
Naruto,
over.
right?
But, like Naruto already fought Sasuke, and like we were in the 6th grade, so this is like
right. And at this point, this is when they're running through their 70 episodes of filler to end out this 200 episode series.
Y'all were like still in school, like y'all were still in school when Shippuden even came out, type of thing. Like I was still.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were still young. Like what Shippuden? I remember the only
like 07. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I think we're about to start high school.
Okay. Yeah. We were about to start high school, and I think, damn, Neji died when, at least in the manga, Neji died when
freshman year of college.
I remember because Ricky told me about that. Yeah,
that's like 20.
Imagine watching like Naruto weekly, bro. Like just, oh my gosh,
watching it weekly. Yeah, that's what it.
Bro, that was our life. Like, bro,
I went through like 70 episodes. I went 70 straight weeks of just fillers. Sometimes.
Oh, I stopped watching when it was filler because I read it. So I was like, I'm not gonna do it. And
I didn't know it was filler until I got to the end of that bad boy. And I didn't like. It's not even that I didn't even know what filler was. I like when I was first watching like original Naruto. Like I thought everything was important. Even the episodes when Goku's out playing baseball.
Yeah. No, like I definitely, especially when I was watching Naruto on YouTube, I would say I didn't know like when Sasuke left, that shit didn't matter at all. And like it wasn't until my sister, she read the manga first and told me like, you know, Gaara is the Kazekage. I was like, what? Like he just what? Like this shit blew my mind.
See, that's what you had your sister put you on. My little cousin put me onto YouTube. I remember when bro, this is how old we are, bro. I remember when we discovered YouTube, bro.
YouTube was just some shit you put on your MySpace.
OD, bro. And then YouTube had
MySpace, bro.
Yeah. Like that's nuts. So like when we discovered YouTube, like I was watching it for like that's where you had everything. And then when they started to kind of crack down, that's when you had to watch all your favorite animes in parts. So like you were watching 23 of animes in 1 to 3 parts, and you go around.
Or you find like the one thing, but it was like 10 minutes long. It was super set up.
I've gone through that. Like you go through like part, maybe like next part.
Yeah.
Like that sucks. That sucks ass.
Or like the middle part would get taken out, and it was only part 1 and part 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I would have to go look online or just read what happened. That would get annoying, bro.
Yeah, but imagine doing that for filler.
Like you really fighting to watch filler.
Yeah.
Right. But it was good times though. Like I think those were really like just thinking about those times just gives me nostalgia. Like back when Crunchyroll was emerging and all those things, and just seeing how everything, and then it kind of makes me think of how bougie I am now. I can't even watch. Like if I'm watching something in less than 1080p, it annoys me.
No, it was crazy. It's like
we were watching those in pixels
OD, and like Crunchyroll was like a bootleg site at first.
Yeah,
we used to pirate Crunchyroll, and it was like, oh yeah, we should be legit, and so now it's a paid service. Crazy.
All right. So basically, summing all up, y'all old heads. All right. So next.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's why we're the OG fanboys, bro.
What do you think? Since you guys have been through, or you guys have experienced the '90s animes, early 2000s, 2010, what do you think is the best anime era that you've experienced? Like from all the animes you watch, what do you think has the best era? If you get what I mean.
The best era?
Yeah, and like
it's tough.
That's tough because so many animes lap different eras. Like so many good so many animes like Naruto's a 2000s and a 2010, right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing.
80s.
Dragon Ball Z technically ended in 1994, right? But in America it didn't end until like 2000s.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting. That's a good question. If I'm going by when I watched it. Okay, so let's try to break it down.
I would say like when it came out in like Japan,
right?
To answer your question, I would say like the 90s maybe, because you had like Dragon Ball Z,
if when I'm thinking about my eras though, like I'm gonna think about it order I watched them. So like I'm gonna consider Dragon Ball Z, Yu Hakusho. So those are all 2000s. That's when I saw it. Like I'm not gonna consider Dragon Ball Z in 1994. That's when I was born.
All right.
So,
All right.
So, but if I'm thinking, let's break it down. So, like, if we think about the great 2000 ones, right?
Mhm.
So, if we think about Rurouni Kenshin, right? We think about Dragon Ball Z. We think about Yu Yu Hakusho.
I think Yu Yu Hakusho is the 90s.
You know, I'm saying they're all like
when we watched
all
it,
these shows came out in the 90s, but we watched them in the 2000s.
Yeah, I get you.
Because if you think about in America, like we weren't watching, like we were in America at the time, like so we all our only access to these shows were when they aired on TV.
Over here, yeah. And I just looked it up. The dub of Yu Yu Hakusho came out in 2002, so that would make sense too.
Yeah. So like, and yeah, so we watch all these things dubbed, and I would say 2000s greatest dub series.
So 2000s, I would agree with it, but I'm saying like whatever the actual thing came out in like Japan is 90s, but like I would say 2000s for like the American watchers and stuff like that.
If I'm thinking about how we're gonna rate it,
Samurai Champloo's in the 2000s,
right?
You know,
Big O, yeah. Cowboy Bebop, which Gundam?
Gundam.
Well, I guess all the Gundams we
watched. 2000s for us,
right? So
Cowboy Bebop for the first time goes crazy, man. Goes crazy.
Bro,
it goes crazy every time, to be honest.
Like I appreciated Cowboy Bebop more as an adult because when I was a kid, I was just watching it on Adult Swim. I don't think I appreciated it for what it was.
Yeah.
As an adult rewatching it, I was like, wow, this is fire.
I still think Samurai Champloo was better.
Y'all, I'm making progress in the Yu Yu Hakusho or whatever. Like I'm on like
episode, where you at?
Okay.
Like episode 30 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're getting close to the dark tournament shit.
You watching it dubbed, right?
I like this. I know this is crazy. I like the sub better. I think the dub is kind of cringy.
Wow.
I know it's. I know a lot of people say. I just don't like dub at all. Like I don't.
Wow.
I don't like dub.
That's a hot take.
I don't like dub. No, it's not even that their dub is bad because I listened to it. It wasn't bad. I was like, all right, this is good. But like, I just like sub better.
No, I can understand why. Like they act better in their language, like, so I could see why you feel that way. But
the dub is pretty good. It's on like Naruto Death Note level of like how great that their dub is. Like those three all have some great dub.
Yeah, like honestly, I would like I couldn't even watch Yu Yu Hakusho's like subbed.
I don't even know. I don't know.
I don't know what they sound like. I've never even heard.
Never had to.
I've never even heard it.
Yeah, I've never heard Naruto sub. I've never heard Naruto. Like I've never watched a full episode of Naruto sub.
Wow.
Wait. Naruto?
Really? Yeah, I watched all of Naruto in dub.
You mean the like Shippuden too?
Yeah, I went to like this website. Like mostly, besides like the last 2 episodes, but like I didn't really watch those. They were just like the marriage episodes. I didn't really care.
Damn, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. That like by the time Naruto subbed came out in English, I finished watching that show like 3 times. So
yeah, man, it just got with the dub just like got finished in like 2017, I think, and that's when the year I started watching anime. So
oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Damn, I graduated college in 2017. Holy crap.
Crazy.
Yeah,
holy crap.
I was in 8th grade. Yeah.
Don't say that. All right, we move on.
All right.
I don't want to feel so much age.
All right, so back to your original question.
Yeah,
so if I'm thinking about the 2000 eras, right? We just listed the 2001. So if we're thinking about what are we considering 2010 animes? Are we considering Naruto?
Hunter is definitely
Hunter reboot.
Hunter reboot. Naruto.
It's hard because it like emerges and like okay, we can do like Shippuden maybe. I know Shippuden started in 2007, but that's like rounded up as 2010, so we can just throw Shippuden.
Like, what are we gonna consider Bleach? Because Bleach is definitely 2000s. Bleach is in 2000s, but I would say most of the time, Bleach is 2000s.
Bleach is heavy 2000s.
Yeah, Bleach. Okay, so Bleach would be 2000. I think all of like the great things that I remember from the golden ages.
That's the thing. It's just like we call it the golden ages, but you're really only watching like 3 things. You know, I mean, One Piece is the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, and the 2000s. Yeah, it was just like we was just watching the big 3. That was it. You know,
I mean,
I would say like
we were watching the big 3.
I'm gonna myself real quick.
I feel you.
But we were watching other things, like, because all those things we were all watching in the 2000s, right?
I think in 2010, the more the trend is just a lot of shorter shows too.
So
like just the seasons in general.
Yeah, Full Metal Alchemist. Are we considering that a 2010? Because it was out in the 2000s.
It was in 2000, but the one that matters is 2010.
Yeah,
that's 2010. The one that's actually good is 2010.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we could consider that. Full Metal Alchemist really brings up
like I don't want to be biased and be like like Demon Slayer. That literally just came out, but like I'm trying to think like everything.
I'm throwing Demon Slayer in the 2010s.
Right. So if I'm thinking,
it came out so late.
Right. So if we think about the 2010s, right, we think right now we're talking about the new ages. So we think about Attack on Titan, right?
Yeah,
those are the heavy hitters.
2013.
Right.
2010s.
Right. We got the Full Metal Alchemist of the world. We got where are we putting Death Note in Code Geass?
2000. They both came out 2000, early 2007, 2008, I think. So
okay, so those are all.
I remember watching those in high.
Yeah, here's the thing. A lot of those came out in those times, but we didn't watch them until 2000s, right? Like I didn't watch Death Note until like my junior year of high school.
I actually watched Death Note in 7th grade.
Oh wow!
I watched it sub.
Yeah.
I know it came out in the dub in like high school, but I watched it.
I feel like Death Note is one of them animes that nobody hates. Like everybody knows Death Note is like pure like one.
It's a masterpiece.
It's a great one.
It's just weird what they did with season 2. Like they could like
this is his part. We're not gonna do this stick here.
Bro, like for real, I really we talked about this a little bit on you guys' podcast.
Yeah, we talk about it every episode of my pod. We talk about it every episode of our pod, bro.
I watched y'all 3rd episode. I was like, damn, y'all talking about that again? I was like, all right, it's cool though. It's cool.
Every because it's one of those
I like
things.
Death Note more than like Code Geass.
You like it definitely more than Code Geass?
Yeah,
same.
I really like Code Geass is a little unstructured. Like I think Code Geass could use a little bit more fundamental storytelling help, especially after that most recent movie that came out.
I'm gonna throw Code Geass in the popcorn type genre. Like this shit don't really like kind of matter.
I don't really like
just enjoy
aspect of it too. I don't like.
You don't like what?
I don't like the little transforming mecha shit out.
Oh, mecha is a very acquired taste.
You know what's crazy? I didn't even think about it as a mecha until I was rewatching it, and I was like,
there's robots here.
I was like, oh,
mecha is very hard. Like in Evangelion, I can't do it.
That's not for everyone.
I've heard it's really, really good, but I watched like 3 episodes. I was just like,
bro.
So you're not a Gundam fan?
Not really.
Okay,
that's fine. Evangelion is overrated. I said it.
Yeah, but back to your question. So I think we that's
a 90s anime.
Yeah, that's old.
So I think we solidly listed out what the 2000s were. So let me think. If we're thinking about a 2010 roster now, right?
My Hero.
Right, we got the My Heroes,
AOT, Black Clover.
Right, we got the Attack on Titan, Black Clover, Full Metal Alchemist.
What else is some big Hunter? We just said Hunter.
We said Hunter before.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I would say in terms of quality, 2010s, like they have top tier ones, right? Like they have Attack on Titan, right? Full Metal Alchemist, Hunter. Like those are all S tier, top tier, and it's just 2000s because of the timing. Like a lot of the 90s animes are crammed into the 2000s because of the way they were released, right? Like 2000 just has so many different ones, right? It has Dragon Ball Z, it has Bleach, it has Rurouni Kenshin, it had like literally Death Note. It has there's so much quantity in the 2000s, but that's just because all the 90s animes are crammed into the 2000s because anime didn't really become popular in the US until 2000. So there's just so much more quantity. So that's why I'm gonna pick the 2000s, just because there's just more of them.
I'm remembering some obscure shit right now, like Bobo.
I remember. Do you remember watching Bobo?
I actively liked Bobo.
The nose, the power of the nose hairs.
Like it was like the nose hair, the fist of the nose hair. That was the superpower.
It's like anime Johnny Bravo, but he was cool.
Yeah, that's what Mike Guy would be.
Yeah,
he was Mike Guy essentially. Both
Mike Guy and Johnny Bravo
combined with nose hairs. That's Bobo. Don't watch it.
But
yeah, I heard about it, but like,
don't watch it. It's clearly for children.
But I feel like we're sleeping on some things in the 20s. It's just I feel like
we are. It's just like we're on the spot, so I know it's hard.
It's hard
because I feel like for the 2010s, like there should be more. But if I'm thinking like 2010s has a lot of top tier ones, right? Like Full Metal Alchemist, Attack on Titan, Death Note. Those are all goated, right?
Yeah,
I think
but yeah, mostly. It's still part 4,
right?
Second part of season 4 coming out.
Right, because I think the interesting thing about when you think about the 2000s ones is that a lot of them were like they're good like fundamentally, but in terms of like truly goated, like if they were put based on their merits, they didn't have as many. So I was like, 2000 just they have the quantity, and I think 2010s because of like obviously it came afterwards. It's gonna have better quality, and that's why I think even the
of storyline and stuff.
Right, like the 2020s, like is gonna have like you got stories like Jujutsu Kaisen coming out, like that's gonna be like it's gonna be even better, right? Like,
oh, you don't like Jujutsu Kaisen that much, right, Chris?
No, I do. I never said. I just said the anime. Like everybody was talking about, like it's like top 10 all the time. I haven't read the manga yet, but like based off.
That's why I say it. I say it because of this. Like the anime was a really good first season.
Yeah.
But I won't, because it's just one season. I'm not gonna be like, oh, exactly. All the time. But because I read it too,
bro. Like had one.
No, it's not gonna do the Tokyo bullshit. It's not.
I know. I'm just saying. Like we've seen a lot of shows that have had like.
Yeah, knock on wood, bro. Let's not talk about that. Tokyo Ghoul was really disappointing. Yeah. And I'm very just frustrated. I'm gonna have to read Promise Neverland.
Yeah, you'll be all right. It's fine.
Yeah, so like I'm just saying, like everybody was talking about like 10 out of 10, and I'm just like, it's really good. Can we just like wait, like just chill out before we annoy everything? Like let things play out.
No, I agree with you.
That's all
I agree with you.
No, that's true. But here's the thing, like at the time, like the thing about when animes pop, right? If they drop them at the right time, it kind of feels like they're an oasis. Like when you think about Demon Slayer, I think one of the reasons me and Ricky were just talking about why it popped so much. But if you think about the timing of when Demon Slayer popped, like it was just so much better than everything else that was there at the time.
But like if you're comparing it to like My Hero. My Hero is good, but like when My Hero came out, it's just like, all right, it's still like the Naruto void. So people feel like, no, My Hero is so great, but it's just good. And like if we're comparing Demon Slayer to My Hero, Demon Slayer is better, but it's not like, I'm not gonna call it good.
Right, because it's
not mild.
Because if you think about when Demon Slayer came out, right? Like what else was out at the time? It was Black Clover, and Black Clover was going through its kind of trash season.
And Demon Slayer would trick you with that. Not trick you, but like animation can trick people into thinking some shit's amazing.
That's true.
You know, when you get like a cool super move and it's just animated really well.
And it's not just that Demon Slayer was animated; it was animated like uniquely. It was very unique art style. It was punchy,
right?
Because like it's not animated like anything else. So I think that's the part that was really interesting as well.
Yeah,
like the whole, not like the whole different art style for the elements. Like that was really good.
Yeah, exactly, and it was like and the like I just saw the movie, but the soundtrack was also really good.
Yeah,
like you said, like you guys said, visuals, like it's a lot, and like everybody's like, I've seen people who've been like, the storyline's not that great. I said, well, like it does with its job. Like I don't think its storyline is meant to be like on some, like it's a good storyline. I don't think it's nothing like crazy.
Yeah, and I feel when you say something like, oh, the story does its job, then you can't, you got to take it out to go to conversation. Because if it's just doing its job, that's not enough.
Well, here's the thing.
You have to go above and beyond.
I don't know about that.
Just for me.
Because what I'm thinking is, I don't think all animes are meant to be plot heavy. I think
Demon Slayer was supposed to be.
Right? Like, if it's meant to be like a plot heavy, then, but I feel like if an anime, like Attack on Titan can't have a bad story, right? Like that's what the story is about, right? But like when you take other shows, like they can have good enough stories, and other things can carry it to where it needs to be. Like if you take like, I don't know, like Gurren Lagann, one of my favorites, right?
You don't fuck with it though.
Huh?
You don't fuck with it though.
Oh, interesting. But
my bad, bro.
I guess it's okay. It's okay.
It's because
but if you take Gurren Lagann, right? It's not meant to be some like in-depth, crazy plotted story, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if the story is good enough that you can build all the other things in terms of the themes of the friendship and the way things are brought forward, and it highlights the individual characters are more important than the overarching story.
Yeah, and it uses the things around it to build a story.
Right. The actual story's narrative is completely irrelevant.
It's simple. It's like a boy becoming a man. That's it.
Right. The more important thing is the evolution of the characters. So I don't think and then for some shows, like the animation is the most important part. It just needs a passable story to carry it through. So what I think I haven't seen, I mean, I know some of you guys have seen it already, but like what's going to push Demon Slayer forward, I think is going to be when the the story itself isn't the main part of the anime. The individual characters have to carry it. So seeing how the individual characters progress, I think is going to be kind of give me my final determination on Demon Slayer. Like if you think about it,
I agree. It's more like, my bad to cut you off, but like more like on how, like, let's say how like maybe I'm more interested in how Tanjiro develops than more of the world, but like the One Piece little argument, how the world building is, because some stories are set up not to be, we're gonna have extreme world building, we're gonna have politics, because one, Demon Slayer is based on like, I think like the Tanjiro period. What is it? Something period?
Like the feudal era.
It's the feudal Japan.
Yeah,
it's post-feudal Japan, I would say.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like, so that's like the 1600s, I think, or 40, a long time ago.
Yeah.
Right.
A long time ago. So it's not meant to be like on some like I know one anime that's like really hyped, that's like that, like Dodoro or Dodori, whatever. I don't know.
Dorohedoro? I love Dorohedoro. I loved it. It's a studio manga. It's one of those just like, it's really out there, and like the characters make the show. I will say that much.
Yeah.
And I think that, and I think that's going to be the interesting, like, because, and it's interesting that you brought up One Piece, because One Piece, I think the reason why One Piece kind of drags is that it tries to do both. It has a really comprehensive world, and it also at the same time tries to build comprehensive characters. And I think that's kind of an example of how things can get a little tedious if you try to do both. Generally, if you have a good anime, it's going to do one or the other. Like when you watch Dragon Ball Z, you're interested in Goku and Vegeta. Like it's the same thing happens every time. The world is at risk, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. What you want to know is what's going on with Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan, and whoever. Like that's what you're interested in. And I think when you judge an anime, you have to judge it on how it's establishing what it's doing, right? So like if you think about like an Attack on Titan, I don't think, if you like, the characters are good, but like outside of the main characters, the world, like the individual characters aren't really developed as well. But
that's how like I dropped AOT season 2. I told you. Okay.
Did you? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did. I got bored. I like the manga better. I recently read.
You read it? Okay, as long as like you progress in the story. All right. So
anime was like, I was like, this is kind
of no, and I agree.
Wait, you didn't like season 4?
No, I didn't. I didn't watch it. I read.
Yeah.
I stopped like 2 years ago in season 2, and I recently just picked the manga back up. Like I'm starting chapter 1, and I'm reading through it, and I actually really enjoyed the manga, like a lot more than I enjoyed it. But episode 1, you said banger.
Yeah, right. I remember you said you wanted maybe ask us like what's overrated and whatnot, and I was gonna say like Attack on Titan is like
I was gonna ask you.
Well, I think here's the thing.
I'll explain my case.
Okay. Go ahead.
So like Attack on Titan, like season 1, I watched it like a couple years after like it came out, and people was like, "Oh man, this is it. This is everything." I watched season 1 like expecting all this great shit, and like what happened was just there was a couple good twists. Right, because that's what Attack on Titan does. It plays on like the twist,
right,
to like to the highest level and shit like that. And so I'm watching it. I'm like, okay, this shit's super overrated. And like for me, I personally like to watch some shit just so I can shit on it. And so I watched season 2. So I'm watching season 2, and like, okay,
season 2 was so dry, bro. It was so.
Season 2 it was dry, and then like the moment we find out like the Colossal and the Armor Titan. I was like, that was my oh shit moment for Attack on Titan. That's when I really fucked with it.
And then I think the great thing about Attack on Titan is it's such amazing rewatch value.
Yeah, when you know.
Yeah.
That you got, all right, so like I recommend you finish your manga and then actually watch it, and then you'll just know everything. Like, wow, this shit was like really well planned out.
And it's so subtle. That's why sometimes it can feel dry. But like when you know what's happening, when you're rewatching it, you're just like, oh. Like it hits you.
You just know everything.
You're just like, oh my God. Like it like that. I think that's one of the things about Attack on Titan.
Having prior knowledge helps a lot more in Attack on Titan.
And the thing about Attack on Titan is like, when playing to Ricky's point about the twist, is that if you think about the story overall, right, like Attack on Titan tries to give you as little as it can about most characters and tries to focus on the story, and then adds things about characters to kind of hit you with a punch.
How they move in a certain situation.
Yeah, and it's just like
I'm just ready to see I don't remember, like I'm ready, like I want to see Aaron's transformation, because I've seen like the clips and the he's went from like a little depressed kid to like somebody who's like because he looks like he just went over their edge and lost his like morality. So like I want to.
Hey,
now I would say Aaron was like he was only depressed for like probably a total of 30 minutes tops. Like he's an ambitious person.
well, one of the things I like about Aaron is his drive to move forward like
he's
that.
Very ambitious.
And morality, it's subjective.
No, it's all subjective, of course. Like to some people, there's no such thing. But I'm just saying, like to like the general, like a lot of general people or whatever, they were saying like he changed a lot from how he probably was. So I'm interested to see and read. But I gotta ask you guys this next. What are some? Give me separately. You guys give me two. It could be like I guess. Well, for it to be overrated, it had to be some type of hype. Y'all gotta give me two anime you think are overrated.
Okay.
Two.
I got one off the top of my head right now.
What you got?
One Piece.
One Piece. I agree, but like you can have One Piece.
Mm-hmm. The anime and the manga are both. Because like it's obviously like.
I only got halfway through the manga, so
overall,
I would say overall,
it's so good.
I would, it's definitely overrated. I think it's overrated.
All right.
Well, I had a friend who was like, he was gonna get into either Naruto or One Piece, but this guy's older. He's like in his 30s and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And like it's hard to get into Naruto in your 30s when you gotta watch like an annoying 13-year-old boy.
Yeah.
But with One Piece, there are more adult characters. There's guys drinking beer everywhere and shit like that.
Right.
So it's easy
but when you're 13 or 12, I would tell you to watch. And you're trying to first start an anime, I would tell you to watch Naruto before you get to
watch Naruto. Yeah, that's what it is. It's so like if you missed your window for Naruto. Yeah, you missed your window for Naruto.
I think you can still get into it though. Like
I agree. You can, but you just gotta push through some annoying shit.
I mean,
you gotta put yourself in a kid. Like you kind of have to put yourself like in a kid space. Kind of.
Let's not forget about the child soldier part.
Yeah, they're child soldiers.
like Gaara. I mean, come on, bro. Gaara is like, man, he never slept.
Bro, not even Gaara, bro. All of them. You can think about it.
Kashi was a genius at murdering people at 6 years old.
Bro, at 6 years old, I'm getting my sippy cup. I'm not murdering.
Exactly.
So
if you think about it, like all these kids are being trained to kill. Like if you think about and it literally.
Let me stop you there. We're not saying Naruto is not overrated anyway.
We're just talking about the. So like, all right. So explain why you think One Piece is overrated, like a little bit.
Oh yeah, I got you. So I want to put this out there. One Piece is not bad. I think One Piece is still a very good anime. I think I'd even still say it's in the S tier anime. It's a fantastic anime. But the reason why I say it's overrated is people don't want to admit any of its weaknesses. Like people would openly talk shit about how all the Dragon Ball Z's imperfections. Naruto's imperfections, but no one wants to talk about like, oh, One Piece is perfect. Oh, the story is so developed and all that stuff.
Okay. But, so what would you think some of them imperfections are? Like the pacing, of course. Like that's the biggest glaring.
Like, and that's a huge thing about it. Like I feel like they try to give you everything. Right, like they try to throw everything at the wall and give everything backstory to it, but it's lazy storytelling in a sense because it doesn't force the author to make any difficult choices and trying to
like killing people off,
right? Or not even just killing, or just giving you a cohesive story that you can follow. Instead, the author just tries to throw as much information at you as possible, and you just got to absorb all of it and sit and wait through it. And I feel like there's a reason why, like when you think about good storytelling, you can't just give all the information and have someone sit and watch all of it. Like, you have to have a time limit. You have to have a time frame to tell a good narrative story, or else then you have long dragged out things where people can't sit through all of your anime. Like people have to take breaks from watching One Piece because it's not like you're getting all this information. Like you find out all these different things about all these different people
all the time,
but the story doesn't progress. Like you could literally go 40, 50, 100 episode sets where you found out all this information,
but nothing happened.
But the story has not progressed an inch.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I think a lot of people don't like to recognize. They're like, oh, look at how well developed this is.
Yeah.
Well, it's well developed, but it's disorganized.
Yeah, one of the things is like, and any really good story, like you appreciate the lore, like the things that happened in the past, but you're not going to see, but this shit happened.
Yeah.
And like I feel like Naruto does a good job of that. But One Piece takes advantage that it does it all the time.
Right.
And you're kind of sick of it.
Right.
So what arc do you think really highlights the whole show?
I think a lot of the time where I like the parts where it really stuck out to me, Punk Hazard arc. Oh my god, that was annoying. But Dressrosa arc was ridiculous, man.
I will say it like because I've been reading Wano, and Wano was my favorite arc by far.
Yeah.
But they get to a part where they talk about Kozuki Oden.
Yeah.
And it's
his backstory is annoying. I don't care.
Yeah, no, he's talking about like they spent like a good 10 chapters, bro. 10 weeks on a dude who's already dead for years.
Bro, I'm watching the anime right now, bro. They're talking about Kozuki Oden. Yeah, bro. It's a Kozuki Oden flashback, and it's the longest shit, bro. And I think we've been on it for three months, maybe longer now.
So fucking long. And
it's like, and he doesn't even, and you know, the anime drags out what was already dragged out in the manga. So like it drags it out even further. So if you read the manga, you may not see it as bad, but remember the anime already dragged, like all animes drag out what the manga do, right? What the manga does, right? Yeah. So if you think about that, like it's even more amplified in the anime. Like it's an overinflated anime. There's no way it should be at damn near 1,000 episodes. Like that same story probably could have been told cohesively at probably 450.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's gone on for way too long. Oda needs to be stopped.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's a villain. He does this on purpose. Villain to the anime world.
No, I think he does it. I think because of the greatness of One Piece, like he's lazy in that.
He's able to do whatever he wants.
Like if you think about when you're an author, right? You have to think about the parts you have to put into the story, right? And he's like, okay, I want to put this in here. I want to put this in here. I want to put this here. I'm going to leave this out. I'm going to leave this out. Oden, he tries to go on every tangent.
He goes back and picks shit up that he should have dropped.
Right. He's like, hey, I'm going to put everything in here. I'm going to put as much stuff in here possible. People love watching it. And if you don't like watching it, you're just going to keep waiting until you get to the part you like to watch. Because I know you're not going to let One Piece go because you already invested over 15 years of your life of sweat equity into this anime. And I know you're not going to let it go. So if you don't like what you're watching, I know you're just going to take a break and come back to it if you don't think it's important to the story.
It's been out for 21 years, 22 years.
Exactly. Like the
I think for y'all, it's a lot worse because, like you said, y'all grown up watching it. As for somebody like probably like a lot of my friends and shit like that, like we've only been watching it for like maybe a year, maybe two. So like that pacing really kicks. Like I can imagine, like you always say with Naruto, reading or watching Dressrosa weekly was probably hell.
That's what I'm saying.
The thing about Whole Cake's my favorite art. Personally, I love Whole Cake. That's my favorite art. But probably watching that weekly was hell, or reading that weekly was hell.
Because the thing is, it's like, you know, you're so used to it because with One Piece they make everything canon. There's nothing that's not necessarily unimportant.
Again, another thing that's lazy.
So where, you know, you can leave things out in the manga like just so you can make the story move an inch or whatever. But the anime takes advantage of like all those little millimeters in that inch. Let's really take even smaller, like whatever like a small unit is. They'll expand on that and like make that a whole arc too. It's really it's a disservice to the fans and the viewers, I feel. But like One Piece fans love this shit, so
yeah,
they eat it up.
And I guess my second. Oh, we still.
Yeah, no, I agree with all you're saying. I just make sure all y'all got my guests got the points out.
Yeah, my second one isn't going to be overrated. I'm going to say this one is overhated, and I'm going to say I think Fairy Tail is overhated.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's just okay.
We like Fairy Tail, but we know it's not perfect.
Right, and I think
it's not supposed to. I don't think it's supposed to be looked at.
Right,
it's not supposed to be.
If you think about it, when you compare Fairy Tail, and I think I mentioned this on one of our pods, like I think people are comparing Fairy Tail to the Bleaches and the Naruto's of the world. Yeah, when if you really think about it, Fairy Tail should be compared to like the Food Wars of the world. Like that's what it is. It's like Food Wars is like a cooking show with like some fan service and fun in it, and Fairy Tail is just like a battle-ish manga with some.
When you say that, it makes me think you gotta throw like Fairy Tail and like the Yu-Gi-Oh realm.
Yeah, like if you think about it, like it's not that like
it's not that sophisticated.
Right. It's not
not supposed to be like even like as much. I think a lot of people say Naruto's world building is terrible. Even I think it could be expanded.
No, Naruto.
It's world building.
I think.
Yeah, I think like again, it's easy to say.
It's okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's okay, and I think people put it in the wrong category, and people set the expectations too high. If you put the expectation of what it was, like if you compare it to its peers, it's actually even really good. Like if you gave me a lineup of Food Wars and Fairy Tail,
I like
and
Food Wars
like
more, but
right, like you enjoy, even though the last season of Food Wars was terrible.
I stopped at like
but
part 3, but it's all right.
Yeah.
If you read it, you're good. You don't need to like.
Yeah. So, but like if you put it in those categories, it's actually not that bad. Like it's just it's par for the course for what it is. Like people trying to like, oh, it doesn't have as much depth as Naruto. It wasn't supposed to. You weren't like I don't think at any point in writing this did the author think you were supposed to break down in tears when you're watching Fairy Tail, even when it like. So I think that's why I think Fairy Tail is a little overhated. I think people put it in the wrong category, and reasonably so, because when you first watching everything, especially if you think about the time of when it came out, like at my age, like I didn't have the nuance to think that this is not in the same category as the Bleaches and the Yu Yu Hakusho's and the Naruto's of the world. Like that this is just like a different thing on its own.
Right. I agree. So yeah, I agree. Like it's just, like for me, like it's like a C anime. Like it's cool. It's cool. It's straight. It's not straight.
It's not game changing. Don't expect it
cool.
to be.
Yeah, like it's in. If you think about it, like it's an ecchi more than it is anything else.
Yeah.
All right. So what are your
one that I think is overrated? I think One Punch Man is super overrated.
I like season 1. Season 2 was kind of but
yeah, no, not even that. I'm talking about season 1.
Okay, let's talk about it.
Like I've mentioned it on my pod, but like our pod because we do this together. It's just people like animation can take you very far, and like violence can take you very far too. And so One Punch Man, it takes advantage of like top tier animation and top tier violence, and like it really just wows you. But it's just like at the end of the day, like, do you care about any character in that show?
No, really.
And they're not built to be cared about. Do you care about the progression of like who Saitama is going to fight next? No, because the story's not built to do that. Nothing is built to like really make you care more than like what you see. And so when people say, "Oh man, One Punch Man is so amazing," and it's cool, yeah, like what it's supposed to do is like the satire on like the superhero or like having super strength, like it's super boring, which is it's fun for like a flavor of the week.
Here's the thing, I agree with you mostly, but I disagree. I think season 1 did what it was supposed to do very well.
No, it did what it's supposed to do. I'm not saying it didn't. What I'm saying is just like people were very quick to claim this is a good like 2010 anime too. Yeah, we're very quick to say, "Oh, it's the best anime ever," and I'll say this is the people who said it. The people who never fucking watched anime. Yeah, really attached themselves to One Punch Man.
My Hero Stan.
Right.
I've heard My Hero. Demon
Slayer. Not even like My Hero. It's like there was a lot of thanks to One Punch Man. I feel like a lot of casuals came, and I was talking to Calvin too earlier. Even saying Demon Slayer invited a lot of casuals, which like is great. The more people that watch anime, the better. Because it's just something.
But it's just annoying when you watch like 2 animes and you're just like, "Yep, this is the best." Like
this is the best.
Add more context to your variety before you just be like, "This is it."
Right.
That's all all of us say.
But I think the reason why I think One Punch Man is overrated is because season 2, but the reason is
season 2 exposed it.
Yeah, because season 2, the animation is not as good, right? But then if you think about what it's supposed to do about the whole satire and everything, like season 2 just doesn't do it well. And what annoys me is that they try to get you to do the thing kind of like that you care about the character, and it kind of just falls on his face in terms of like the what is the main villain of season 2? Garo, right? Like
he wasn't even a villain,
right? Like and his motivation was so like I know it was supposed to be funny, like as anime, like it's so stupid. Like if you like, I feel like
for the villains instead of the hero because the villains always get the short end of the stick.
Right, like if it was something about like actual oppression or something, or like something
to represent like legitimate oppression
and the things, and it wasn't even funny. That's the thing. Like if it was funnier, like the thing about One Punch Man season 1, like it was funny. Like it was like
or it's like dry humor. It's not even like Konosuba humor. If y'all seen that anime,
that's on
or Gintama.
But and that's what I'm saying. Like season 2 of One Punch Man, like the animation was worse, the story was worse, and it wasn't that funny. When season 1, top tier animation, it was actually funny.
What was funny? It was like not even like the actual jokes.
Right.
It was how it was drawn, like the still, the awkward moments and shit like that were exaggerated and
I just think. Oh my bad. No, I was saying that I think I really do like season 1, but like that's about it. Like, so I like Saitama more than most people do, but like the overall is One Punch Man. The show is like it's a show we'll forget about in like 20 years. I'm not gonna lie.
No, that's the thing. People won't forget about it, and they'll be like, "Oh, because it was
If you're
very
consuming a
iconic."
lot of anime, like I think how like we do, it'll just be like, oh, okay.
Here's the thing.
Like,
Yeah, when you consume a lot, you'll forget about it. But like,
I don't.
That's the one you want.
I disagree with that just because One Punch Man, as much as we dislike it, huge cultural impact.
That's what I'm saying.
Huge cultural impact. People love talking about One Punch Man. Like people always going to talk about who's stronger. If whoever or One Punch Man.
Yeah, they do that.
Goku, One Punch Man. Like Goku is like one, like the same way Goku is always just going to be talked about. Like I think Saitama because of like his damn near omniscient power, like they're always just going to even bring him up as a punchline or something where people just talk about him, like One Punch Man, and they're going to get curious about it, like, oh, the guy who beats everybody in one punch. Like, so that's why I think even the anime itself, I think is going to be long forgotten about it, where people are not going to care about it. But the character of Saitama definitely going to become an iconic character, 100%. Like in 20 years, they're probably still going to be talking about.
And it's an easy cosplay.
Saitama. Yeah.
So, you know.
Right. It's just put on some gloves and a cheap cape. And
get like a yellow jumpsuit, some dishwashing gloves.
Right. Like it's.
Shave your head bald.
Right. Like so.
and be a white guy with pointy nose.
Right. Like, so One Punch Man, I think overall going to be lackluster, but I think it's going to last the test of time just because the character of Saitama is just I think it's a good character, I guess. Like it's in terms of
it's memeable too. It's memeable.
Right. Yeah. Super memeable. So that was a good overrated one.
And I'll follow you on the overhated one. I'm gonna talk my shit. Fate. I think Fate gets a lot of hate.
The series?
Fate overhated. Okay.
I think so. You know, it's not perfect. It's not supposed to.
Now, are we talking about a specific Fate or just the world
series?
You know, like Fate.
Because I think Fate Zero was actually pretty good.
No, Fate Zero is legitimately good. And Unlimited Blade Works is good too.
Yeah.
But like, you know, they're hard to kind of like watch like all the way through.
Yeah,
because there's like,
build up. You have to wait for the payout.
There's great payout, but there's a lot of build up and stuff like that.
And it's really the build up is kind of a weak story.
It's not a great story. The characters are very flat. You know, the character designs are piss poor, but it's still fun.
Repetitive. Like they're structurally sound.
It's the people who drew Demon Slayer, so you know it's gonna look good when they fight.
That's true. That's
right.
Like,
and like the same appeal that One Punch Man has, Fate should get that same type of love.
Well, I think the difference is Fate is not meant to be like Fate's
not supposed to be popular.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. No, I'm not gonna say popular. Mainstream. Fate is just by nature of it.
Because
it can't be mainstream.
There's so much stuff you have to dive into in terms of like buffs and stuff.
It's hard to be casual and like Fate.
But here's the thing: when you get into Fate, you really get into Fate.
Yeah, you start.
And as you consume more Fate lore, even the bad Fate start to feel because they add more to your lore. And I think that's how they get you. My favorite bad Fate. Grand Order might be my favorite bad Fate.
I like Apocrypha.
Apocrypha was solid too.
Have you watched any Fate, Chris?
Zero. Just Zero.
That's a good one.
Zero,
really a good show.
Right. Zero and Unlimited Blade Works. Like those are
here's the thing. I like Zero, but like I wouldn't give it like 10. Like I've seen people say 10 out of 10. Maybe I need to watch other Fate series.
10 out of 10,
bro.
I've heard it like,
bro. It's not 10 out of 10. I'll tell you that.
All right, we love Fate, but we will say it's like a C- C tier show.
Right. It's like, and if we're talking about like Unlimited Blade Works on its own in the vacuum, most I give it 7.5 top. Like that's
the highest it can get is like a B-.
Right. So like 7.5, 8.
Yeah, no, but like I've heard. It's solid, but like I'm not a 10 out of 10. I'm not there. That's the thing. I'm not.
Bro, it's not a 10 out of 10.
But I do see people hating on the series. It's good. I don't know why people.
And it's like it's corny. The script isn't great, whatever. But like
it gets undue hate, definitely.
It gets undue hate. It's just like watch it and enjoy the violence when it happens, because it's like it's amazing fight choreography. Like the power system doesn't make sense, but like don't.
In what shonen, like let's be honest.
Look at every show. Like every time somebody like everybody has to power up, and it doesn't make sense because like the main protagonist always gets clapped, but he has to get some insane power.
Right.
Yeah, except for a Hunter.
That's what I'm saying. I was just about to say Hunter is the
Hunter's
only...
almost a sign-in though. Hunter's getting like almost borders that sign-in level with some of the themes like they be like showing.
That's true. That's true. But then it always has like enough levity to bring it back.
Right.
Yeah.
It always has enough levity to bring it back.
Because if you think about it, the way Hunter's like nobody's a hero in that show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was. Who was I talking to about that? I was talking to my friend Ryan about it, and it's just that you think Gon is like the main character. Sure, he's like the most prominent character, but you can switch between him, Leorio, Karapika.
Yeah, that is 100% too. It makes you feel like he's the main character, obviously, because he's the headline character, and they show him and they start the show with him. But if you actually look at actual screen time and stuff, like he may not be like
especially now in the manga,
right? Like especially like in the anime, definitely you could say he's the main character. But when you get to the manga and you're writing it now, like I don't like he's not even in the story anymore.
And did you watch the original Hunter?
I
get the feel like there are other.
I did.
Other characters feel more important to Gon a lot of the time.
Right. But here's the thing. I think it does that. I think it's really important that they do that, though, because the one thing that I like about Hunter x Hunter that I can give that's better than, like, it's realistic in that, like, yo, this 12-year-old kid is not going to be the most important person. Like, all these people are all super special talented. They've been specially talented for some of them for over 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they had some bullshit like Gon was the one that was gonna beat the king, like that would be ridiculous. It should be Netero, the strongest of all time.
Yeah, exactly. Not Gon, the 12-year-old who
and that's why it's a well-written show in that sense. Like, you know, it's like what's practical stays practical.
Right. And like no shade to Naruto, but like like in a real world, like Naruto's not the one being the hero.
I'm yeah, of course, in the real world, yeah. But in the world of Naruto, they do it really well.
They
make him that.
Naruto. I'm saying Naruto's like I just picked a prominent anime, but like Naruto was one of the people who did it relatively well. At least they waited till he was 17.
Yeah.
Maybe
that's why we were mad at Bleach, because he was already 15.
One thing though I do like about Naruto is they show the gap between like some people are just more talented than other people.
Yes.
At least in the early part before they start alienating everybody up, though.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, all right, so that's just connected. So you know how My Hero doesn't happen without Naruto happening, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And the first line in My Hero is like, one of the first lines is like, "Oh, I learned from an early age, not everyone is born equally."
Right.
I was just like, that's the shit. That's the shit.
And like it's interesting because Naruto has like great characters, like let's say Naruto Sensei, who he was just not destined for greatness.
Not at all, bro. Naruto eclipsed him in the first episode.
You know, in Naruto, it's funny because
Naruto eclipsed Iruka Sensei in the first episode.
And I think the interest, and it's crazy how we're switching into Naruto. I had this thought just popped into my head, but it's interesting how the paradigm in Naruto shifts, where the whole show he's talking about how your heritage doesn't matter and that anyone can be great. But you think he's literally the son of the fourth Hokage in one of the greatest clans of all, and
the reincarnation of the son of God.
And have like a tail beast.
Yes.
Right. So in a sense,
part of like his mom was like a part of a clan with like a lot of jutsu, like a
literal Jinchuriki, right?
Yeah.
So it's ironic that he was mentioning these things, but in a sense, like as a child,
he was already.
If you think about as a child, he was saying these things, but like when as you go into adulthood, you realize like he was born special, better than other people. Realistically,
because if we think about it, Rock Lee should have been like if we're talking about all that hard work, it should have been like the dude.
That's what I'm saying. Rock Lee was the one in the show who emphasized that. But if you think about Rock Lee in the show, let's say if you're talking about real power, like he's like maybe top 5, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it takes natural talent to get to number 1.
Rock Lee has natural talent.
That's what I'm saying. But
hard work,
right?
Effort is a talent.
Effort, but I'm saying other things like like the ones who are number 1 are the ones who were born special.
Mm-hmm. Like no one else had a chance to really eclipse that.
Right.
For sure. Yeah, and it's just like I said, another thing with Naruto, they flesh out their character. Well, probably every show does this, but like as you start getting deeper, I guess towards the end of the show, you have to flesh out some less important characters.
That's just a Shonen Jump thing.
But
yeah,
I will say Naruto is a story heavy anime that did take some time to flush out some characters towards the end, but it also like, and I know we complained at how they left certain characters out, like, oh, Lee didn't get the time to shine to other people, but I was like, you got to realize what people don't realize is that's not the story Naruto is. Naruto is not going to be like One Piece.
It's called Naruto.
Yeah, like
it's called Naruto.
Naruto is not going to be like a show where like One Piece where every single person is getting their time to shine.
Naruto is about Naruto.
Naruto is about Naruto. Like
exactly. Like exactly. But my next question for you, all right, next little talk. These ain't even really questions for just talk.
Yeah.
Whatever. What was I about to say? What do you? I don't like to use this phrase because it's kind of like subjective again. But like, if we were to have a new big three, or like, what do you think would be the face of the like three animes that are gonna be the face of like this new generation of anime? Like
new generation separate from One Piece, right?
Yeah. We know like new, like these are all like came out like let's say 2018 and onward. What do you think?
Okay.
Jujutsu Kaisen definitely
for sure.
We gotta leave out Attack on Titan.
Yeah, 2013. That came out 2013. That's old, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. Demon Slayer doesn't make the cut. My Hero doesn't make the cut.
My Hero's gonna have to make the cut.
My Hero's be on the cut, bro. My Hero's the cut.
All right, so I have to.
Because remember, you can't just talk about how good it is. You gotta think about popularity.
Yeah, My Hero. No, I think My Hero deserves it.
I don't think Demon Slayer is gonna make the cut because it's gonna be too short. I don't think it has.
Yeah, I think Demon Slayer season 2 might be the last season based off.
Right. So
last season? No, it's got like 3 months.
No, the manga ended. The manga ended not that like the manga wasn't that long. Unless they
it wasn't, but that fight was like mad long, bro. They could took that shit too.
Well, think how many episodes have been in terms of like what 25. Percentage? I'm saying what percentage have these 25 episodes covered
maybe
so
like
far?
80 chapters.
How many chapters is total?
Like 250 something.
Okay, so it might have 2 more. It might have 2 more seasons.
Yeah, maybe you might be right.
Yeah.
Right, like if this only covered 80 chapters, like they could squeeze 2 more out of it. And then they probably covered the little gap with the movie.
Right.
So also, I mean, maybe it's possible. My Hero, like, because I think like for you to be a big three, I mean, to be like part of a big three, there's just a minimum.
You have to kind of change the game.
And you can't be a short anime just because people need you to be around.
Mm-hmm.
If you think about all but I guess that may be a 2000s thing because originally, like back in the day, all the big threes are all 200 plus animes. 200 plus episode animes.
Yeah.
Even Blue.
I don't think there's a thing no more. Our kids' attention spans are going to be a lot shorter now. The way the microwave society.
I don't think I don't think you can make a new anime like One Piece. Like if you started One Piece again and you told kids it's going to be 1,000 episodes, I don't think you're getting the same fan base.
No. You really got to take advantage of those who have the attention span.
I like the Jujutsu count.
But you might, depending on if we are still in quarantine and people just being at home. Like that might like if
I'll say this. I'd say like with especially with how people consume anime now, it's a lot of short, quick ones that you attach yourself to. There's a lot of all right, done on to the next one, done on to the next one.
That's so terrible. No
to get the gratification.
No, I think you can have one that lasts long, right? But it can't move like the way One Piece moves. Like it has to be like a Naruto. Like Naruto's a lot of episodes, but the story is changing. Like you can't drone on and you can't stay in one arc for more than 2 years. Like you can't do that in a new anime. And like you because like one like people because I realize like people need beater animes. Like people like at the end of the day, like people complain about the Naruto fillers and the Boruto and all that stuff, but at the end of the day, that anime is on every single and like the Black Clovers. But the reason why people accept that the animes on there get a little weaker in some parts is because they're there every week. It's not seasonal. Like those animes are there every single day. I mean, every single week, there's gonna up until recently when Black Clover stopped, there was gonna be an episode of Black Clover waiting for you and an episode of Boruto waiting for you, regardless. Right, so
does Black Clover make the cut?
Yeah, I think so.
Black Clover might make the cut if depending on how these next 2 seasons pan out.
No, I think my 3. I don't know my 3 right now. At least right now, I'm gonna say.
These are your personal big 3s, or like how we could
all just discuss and maybe come to like an agreement. But right now, I'm gonna say My Hero. Of course, I think we all agree on that.
Right.
We said Jujutsu Kaisen, right?
Mm-hmm.
We all right. And then my 3rd would be Haikyuu, bro.
Haikyuu. The manga's over.
I gotta see about I don't know about Haikyuu just because I feel like to be part of the big 3.
Excellent. It's not popular enough.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I think it's really popular. I think
it's very popular, but like it's hard to put a sports up against a battle show.
Like if I'm thinking about like right like the reason we gotta put Demon Slayer up there just because it's unstoppable. Like it's unstoppable. Like it's
the records it breaks every single day. It's like if you put Haikyuu against any popular battle manga, like it don't sound
like Black Clover, which isn't even it's popular, not super popular, beats Haikyuu right in popularity.
Yeah.
That like when I'm thinking about big three, I have to combine.
We're talking about popularity, not
people
are dumb to think those are the best. No, we're talking about what's gonna sell the most.
Yeah, what's
right.
gonna sell. So I would put I would Jujutsu Kaisen definitely, My Hero.
I don't know about Jujutsu Kaisen.
Whoa, what?
No, it's crazy, bro. Like I promise you, the popularity is crazy right now.
The popularity is too crazy for it not to be, bro.
It is.
Yo, it's doing like it might eclipse Demon Slayer.
Okay.
It's crazy, bro.
So wait, so we're saying
who don't watch anime just starting it just cause like they said they like anime, but based off
it's on HBO Max. It's like
okay, so
like it's really popular. Like you know how to talk the Shibuya incident?
Mm-hmm.
They actually like redid Shibuya in terms of Jujutsu Kaisen because of it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
All right, so let me think. All right, so if we're thinking about JJK, so we have Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero, and what else is in the big three? Right now, Black
Demon Slayer.
Yeah, Demon Slayer. Okay, so that's the big three: Jujutsu Kaisen, My Hero, and Demon Slayer. Those are the three most popular.
I'm cool with that. I'm cool.
Are you
that for the IG? I agree. I'm cool with that.
All right, so
yeah, that's gonna be the era definers. Okay,
those are era definers. But what's sad is like you have the sequel that's Boruto.
Oh god,
and it should be there. It's supposed to be there.
Mm.
No. I'm not saying like
not
what it is. I'm saying, but because it comes from Naruto,
right,
and it like, but it's not. It's not living up to what Naruto is.
Yeah,
that's the shade of Boruto.
Honestly, I'm surprised Super died out so quick. I think if Super kept going, I think it could have kept in popularity.
Absolutely.
But the thing about
Super is great too.
And the thing about Super, I don't even know if we could include, even if it was really popular, like I wouldn't include it in the big three because like it's still an extension of Dragon Ball Z. That would be like if we tried to include One Piece in the big three. But, like it's popular, but that's
by that same rule, Boruto doesn't count.
Yeah, even if Boruto has views just because it's Boruto.
Yeah,
like you're not gonna tell me to put out a show. Like I don't care if you guys told me it was hot garbage. I'm gonna look.
Mm-hmm.
It's Naruto.
Because it's Naruto at the end of the day.
All right.
Like when Bleach comes back out, like it's gonna.
I'm ready for Bleach to come out. Oh my gosh, I've been waiting for like.
I'm ready too.
And it's crazy. Everyone knows it ends trash, and we're still gonna watch.
And we're still gonna watch. No. They were gonna work with. I don't think they're changing the ending too much, but I think they're gonna.
Here's the thing.
They're working with the author.
With
like They're working really closely with him to make it right.
Here's the thing. I don't like when you see Bleach right as a manga. A few tweaks here and there of narrative changes and just structural and pacing changes, it could be very good.
Bleach is very good.
Like
Bleach is good.
It's really good. It's just not great. Exactly.
If someone took the time to just like if they take the time and they really just do some tweaks and they can stay true-ish to the end, like they relatively true to the manga, and just let's say push some things here and just maybe even
forget about some other things,
right? And animes love to take their time.
Mm-hmm.
So if anime, like if they can put some things in there,
time, you throw some filler into the last season of Bleach, not
right?
like
some canon filler,
some embellish what's happening,
or some bridges. Like it needs some better bridges to its parts.
Explain to your viewers some more.
Like if they take
like Bleach was so good, it was the first anime I thought about rewatching.
That's what I'm saying. It was not Dragon Ball Z with swords.
No, that's Soul Society or something else.
Yeah,
I still think
I even like the art leading up to it. Like I loved it from 1 to 60, almost 10 out of 10, bro. I think it could be a 10 out of 10.
I agree.
I loved it. It was really good.
The artwork,
the music, bro.
The music.
You don't.
They had a black lady singing.
Yeah, it was good, bro.
Bleach had the soul.
Shout out to Hazel Fernandez.
It had literal soul.
Come on,
without souls.
Right.
Come on now.
Yeah.
I mean, it had like waifus, art style. Like it literally had every component besides storyline just flopping after the first.
Who's your Bleach waifu, bro? Come on. It's a safe space.
Or Hime.
Yoriichi's always gonna be my thing, man.
Yeah, we like her black woman.
Bro, I remember sitting at home watching when I saw that cat transform. I was like, oh my god! It took me down a dark path on my PSP.
And we all went there.
The hentai days, man.
Oh man, it took me down a dark path on that PSP.
We all went there. When the ages from like 12 to like 19.
Right, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
That animated woman had it all for me. I can't even lie.
Sure.
Like,
All right, I got one question, or I got more we could talk about because we can talk off air, but it's getting late.
Yeah, I agree.
So like, all right, what's one anime you think is like you watch it, but you were like, this is dog water, like complete trash can. Like it doesn't have to be underrated, or it doesn't have to be overrated. Just something you watch and which is like, bro, this is trash, like a trash.
Sword Art Online.
That's a good one.
A lot of people hate it now. Like it's starting to get underrated on how much people don't like it.
I would have picked it if I was able to finish it.
No, I was like, like I said, I watched it to shit on it, and like Sword Art Online, I enjoyed it in the beginning, and even like towards the end, I always enjoyed the like choreography and the animation because that was always done really well. But the story is it is dog water, as you said. It's so bad.
I don't got a lot of those because
the characters suck.
Yeah, once I start watching some shit I don't like, I'll stop watching it.
It's fucking.
Well, I'll give you one that was supposed to be good, but it's not. I wouldn't even say it's dog. I just can't put my finger on why I hate it so much. So I liked the original Steingates, but the second one, Steingate Zero, is that what it's called?
Oh my gosh, I just started it. I've been so bored, bro.
It's so boring. Wait, Steingate or Steingate Zero?
Zero.
Yeah, Zero, bro. I hate it. I hate it, bro. I really like Steingate, so I wanted to finish it, bro. I cannot.
Yeah, no, and the thing is, like, you give it like a good 6 episodes because Steingates took some time to do its thing. You know? So you're watching like 6, and then it's like episode 10. He's like, what the fuck am I still watching for?
And like me and Ricky are stuck in this loop in that
we keep forgetting, so we gotta reset.
We want to go back and finish it, right? But then we know we're gonna have to. It's been so long that we gotta rewatch more. But then when you realize you have to watch more episodes, you don't want to go back and finish it. But now you want to go back and finish it, but for more time keeps passing, and to the point where we know we're gonna have to rewatch it from scratch, and I don't want to.
Okay.
Well, so yeah, Steingate Zero.
I really good answer there.
All right. So I got 2 more. I got 2 more topics for us, and then we can finish. So like, I just released a video. I don't know if you saw. Everybody's going on me for my DBZ hate and like that.
I've seen portions of it.
So I made this argument, and I just want to hear y'all because y'all are OGs.
Yeah.
So basically, I had a little homie on. He was arguing with me that like basically, and this person, this other podcaster commented on my thing. It was like they were basically saying that like I'm tripping because I don't think because I said personally I don't think DBZ is that good compared to the other shonen, but I do respect it for like having that. I do give it a respect because it definitely gatewayed a lot of different things, and every shonen does take a small accurate piece from it and build on. And I can't blame something that was made in the 80s of its weak story because everything evolves, of course. Mm-hmm. So he was just saying that like it's nowhere. Like a lot of people are saying it's no way it's trash. Nothing can be trash if it's selling a lot. And my thing is, okay, you can sell a lot and still not be that great. Like I said, Demon Slayer was the #1 selling manga in 2019.
I was literally about to say Demon Slayer is like I don't think
like you can literally go to my
trash, but it's not great.
Yeah, and it was just like, and then the dude, a lot of people are like, there was arguing with me like saying that I'm tripping because it's the #1 selling. I'm like, yo, the video games, it's very marketable. Yeah. It's been out since the late 80s. I would hope it's the #1 selling anime of all time. Like, I'm just saying.
Here's the thing about what I think. I agree that if you have a lot of sales, it can't be trash. But I think the thing about Dragon Ball Z is it resonates people. It resonates with people.
To their childhood, a lot of people.
Not even just their child, like new kids who've never watched Dragon Ball Z. Like at the end of the day, there's a reason why like every generation of kids loves Dragon Ball Z games. There's not a generation of kids that doesn't like Dragon Ball, that doesn't like the Dragon. Both.
The show, it's because it's like it's one of those things you don't have to like.
You don't have to think too hard about it.
You don't have to pay, it's a popcorn show now.
So I could agree with you on the story, but like I was saying before, the story isn't what's important in Dragon Ball Z. The characters are, right? Like that's one of the shows where you have to focus on the characters. And if you think about the characters,
they're great characters.
They're great characters. Yeah. So like that's why I think the reason I'm just going to disagree with you is I think you're judging Dragon Ball Z on
the wrong thing.
On the wrong thing. Because I think if you think about the paradigm, it should be right. Like if you're going to judge Dragon Ball Z, it's like, okay, how good are the characters here? And I think if you took the time to really sit and feel out the characters, I think you feel a little differently about it when you look at it from that perspective.
Okay.
It's like, it's not how I feel about, let's say, how the saga progresses, but how do I feel about Goku? How do I feel about Cell? How do I feel about Majin Buu? How do I feel about Gohan? How do I feel about Vegeta? Like, I think those are the things that you should think about. And like, if you think about it, the concentration in Dragon Ball Z is literally the transformations. It's the changes in the individual characters. That's the most important thing.
All right. So I was gonna ask you. I'm somebody who, where I think now, especially like I do like shonen, but like I'm starting to watch a lot more seinen and gravitate. Do you think if you're a lot more seinen?
I have to check my video.
So I was gonna say, if you want to gravitate to a lot more seinen, do you think it's harder for you to watch DBZ and be like this because that's not what you like, or is it just that you think like you still think like you can like enjoy it, type of thing?
It's the thing. Sorry, 1 second. Let me just.
You good.
You can edit this part out, right?
Oh yeah, I can. I'm gonna clip that out. You good. We all good.
All right, bye. Okay. Okay, sorry. So I ask your question again.
Oh, I was saying, as somebody, I think now I'm starting to like gravitate to more seinen or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that could be a thing where like if you're somebody who really likes seinen, it's hard for you to like necessarily always love like the battle shonen or whatever? Or do you think do you think Dragon Ball Z still has the appeal to somebody who will be more like a seinen slice of life type of dude? Because I think that's
like a more casual type of watcher.
Yeah.
I
think Dragon Ball Z can appeal to it as long as you like fighting.
Yeah. So I think if you think about like I don't think if that's what you like, I don't think it's ever going to be in your top 5. I'll put it like that, right?
Yeah.
But I don't think a show like My Hero would ever be in your top 5 either, or a show like Bleach maybe have a chance,
No. Bleach will ruin its own chance for you.
Right. Yeah. So like Naruto, so I think if you like those things, you have a chance of liking it, but it's not going to be in your faves. If you think about it, right? Like when you think about those, like your top 5 is gonna lean toward like your only chance of a shonen, if that's what you like, of being in your top 5 is gonna be like a Full Metal Alchemist, right? Or
Haikyuu.
Or Haikyuu.
Code Geass, like Code Geass.
Right. Maybe even Code Geass.
Hard to watch.
Even Code Geass might be a little bit too much for you if you're into like pure seinen. Like Attack on Titan might be something that appeals to you because like it's really realistic. It's hardcore. There's no breaks in terms of like like every episode pushes the plot forward and every episode is very real. There's no day that you're playing.
Are we saying like shonen versus seinen? Like
no. He's saying like if they're a person that really likes shonen, right? Like that they're shonen. I mean not shonen, like seinen, right? That's what you're really into. Like, would you have a chance to like a show like Dragon Ball Z? And I'm gonna say you would have a chance to like it, but it's never gonna be in your face.
No, yeah, but it's like what type of seinens are you like?
Right.
You do attach yourself towards like Berserk? Of course, you'll like Dragon Ball Z. Right.
But if you're like if you're into like the Cowboy Bebops or the Black Lagoons, like that's
can't promise you like Dragon Ball Z.
Right. You can't because those are all realistic shows. Like once you like those type of seinens, when you start to get into things with powers, it gets tricky, right? Like when people can fly around and blow up planets and blow up mountains.
Unexplained shit,
Right. Like when a city getting wiped out has no real relevance to the story. It's difficult, like because in seinen, like there's not too many seinens. A city gets wiped out in a seinen, it's a huge deal.
Yeah, like somebody in a seinen, it will probably be like you go around and murder everybody with a gun.
Yeah, and there's only 5 cities in a seinen usually.
Right. So like a city gets wiped out in a seinen, it's catastrophic, right? Like so. When you think about the lack of, let's say, permanence in a lot of things that happen in a lot of those shows, or the lack of consequences, I think it would be difficult for you to get into the same way it would be difficult for you to get into, like if you're heavy into dramas, it might be difficult. If dramas are exclusively what you like, right? It'd be difficult for you to get into, let's say, a Family Guy sitcom or a sitcom, right? Or like a regular sitcom. that doesn't mean you can't like both. But if one is your preference, right? Like if you like stuff like Law and Order or Criminal Minds, or say you like stuff like Grey's Anatomy or House or something like that, like you can have different things that you like. But if those are your favorites, like those other parts, like you could be something that you will enjoy casually, but it's not going to be your favorite show.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. Man, you speak very well. I like this. I need to have both of y'all on more.
He's old, so he should be able to speak well.
I'm just having like kids on, bro. So we'd be like, I don't know. I'm like, all right. All right.
We've thought about a lot of things, and we've come to
Yeah, bro. We've gone through all of these. Like we've gone through all of these kind of thought processes on our own. Like we've never had an outlet like
that's
a
what
podcast
led us to like
to
make our own podcast, so we can talk our shit.
Yeah, it's literally just us. It was us chopping it up to each other about it. So it's nice to have a thing. And you talk really well too.
Yeah,
thank you. I appreciate it. So y'all, give me y'all top 5. You think you could do top 5 off the dome or nah?
Yeah, I could do my top 5 off the dome.
Yeah, you start.
Top 5, 5 and 1 or 1 to 5 is y'all order. No,
just tell us 1 to 5.
And any order you guys want. Just
all right. So in no order, but like definitely like Jujutsu Kaisen, Naruto, Samurai Champloo, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I change this one all the time. Right now, I think it's still like Haikyuu. Is up there. My number 5.
I'm not gonna lie.
That changes a lot.
My top. I'm gonna give you a top. I'm gonna give you a top 4.
All right,
I'm gonna give you a top 4, and it's gonna be a basic bitch top 4.
I love the basic bitch shit.
So it's gonna be Dragon Ball Z.
Right.
It's gonna be Fullmetal Alchemist. It's gonna be Brotherhood. It's gonna be Yu Yu Hakusho, and it's gonna be Naruto. I'm sorry. I know it's. I gave you top 4, but things.
Throw definitely top. You know you want to.
Okay, I'm gonna throw the Death Note in. Yeah. But like so I know it's not like there's no plot twist. There's nothing. It's old school. But it's a basic bitch top 5. But I fucking love it.
It's a good top 5. You can get to anyone and they're like, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So
that's fine.
All right. So guys,
you got a new top 5, bro?
No, not right now. We're saving that. I'm saving mine like a vault. I'm gonna try to milk it for like a few months. But I'll give you my top 5 what I'm watching right now. If y'all want to.
Yeah, let's do that.
Do that. I got some right now. I'm gonna do Wonder Egg Priority. That's been banging.
Is it good? Because I hear a lot of people
like it, bro. It's a psychological thriller, bro. Love it. Tokyo Revengers has been kind of. I feel like it's.
I've read all of it in the past 2 weeks. It's okay. I had a lot of fun with it. The time travel shit doesn't make any sense, but it's
I like it. It just doesn't make. Yeah, it doesn't make sense for it. It's like Erase, like had like a little less, like not as good little brother.
Yeah.
So it's been all right. I've been watching this romance anime. It's been heat, bro. Like
which one?
I'm gonna pull it up right now. It's on Crunchyroll. So basically, it's like the plot is like this 28-year-old dude brings in this 17-year-old girl, and she's living with him. It's called After Being Rejected, I Shaved and Took in a High School Runaway. And like, it's really good. Like it's really good. And it's weird because like I don't know the Japanese laws, but I think at like 17, like that's like a age of consent. But he's like 20.
I think it's even younger.
Yeah, it might be like
that's good.
It's still creepy. It's still creepy though. Like, but like it's good. It's no sexual. There's nothing sexual in it, so it's not like weird. So it's all right. I've been watching Yu Yu Hakusho on the grind.
Love it.
I'm watching Elfen Lied because I take forever to finish. I've been kind of like
that's just only like 12 episodes, bro.
I've legit been like cramped with homework, 10-page paper. Nah,
it's a tough 12 episodes.
Oh, did you just start college?
No. I'm in dual enrollment, but like I'm basically I'm in 11th grade, but like I'm basically in college because I got all my high school credits like last summer.
Okay, you a superstar. Got it.
The pandemic helped you at that.
Yeah, because I've been cheating my ass off. Come on.
Oh hell yeah.
So yeah.
Hey man, you can Google in real life.
Yeah, exactly.
For real. This is a professional speaking.
I want you to know, bro.
Elfen Lied. I'm gonna give y'all 2 more. How about To Your Eternity? That's been good.
I love To Your Eternity.
Bro, anime of the season probably. And
I give maybe, and like Yeah, I'll tell you what I'm watching afterwards.
Hey man, y'all giving me some good shit to watch.
Yeah,
bro, I got you. So now we can wrap it up. You guys can plug your stuff wherever y'all at.
Oh yeah, you could find us on the OG Fanboys at Instagram and Twitter, and we're on everything except for YouTube. You know,
right?
Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, iHeartRadio.
Yeah, and Twitter's about to be booming, so watch that.
Yeah, Calvin taking over Twitter now. So if you want to talk to Calvin, the OG Fanboys on Twitter. You want to talk to me, the OG Fanboys on Instagram. Or you can always just email at. I'm probably gonna change it, but for now it's ojifanboy@gmail.com. Just throw your takes at us. We'll fuck with it.
Bet. All right,
y'all. Thanks for having us, bro.
No problem, bro. If y'all free, we can talk a little off air if y'all free.
Yeah, we got some.
Yeah, we got time.
So you guys go like, comment, and subscribe. Go follow our Instagram @Again Show. Go follow my co-host Eyes.Lens. He's a photographer. Please, he's thirsty for some pictures. Go follow our TikTok @Again Show. Go follow. And now you can find us on Spotify, Anchor, and Google Podcasts at @Again Show. And you guys can go listen. There's no excuses. And we're starting our clothing merch. So be on the lookout for all that. So I hope you guys enjoy, and peace.